All right, couple oil leaks getting really common on these older Accords. Here's an 8th generation. I have another one right next to it, pretty minty. No leaks yet on that one, fortunately. I've really kept up. It's got low miles as well, but that's a 666, 6-speed V6, J30. Here we got the J35. They're all very similar, just larger displacement, bigger bore for the engine. The gentleman replaced, I think, the rear valve cover, but as you can see, all this residual oil, and it's literally everywhere. Small amounts, so it's not bad yet, but we're gonna have to take care of it soon. He has other issues. I just posted another video explaining some aftermarket predicaments I've had with this one, but that valve cover is gonna need replaced. You really don't want them draining down because it gets on this alternator, which is now brand new. He had a lot of leaking on that. Also, your power steering here, this one's starting to leak as well. Not bad yet, but if both of those get really bad and start leaking down on everything, either it can get on the timing belt, which is never good for these. Also gets on that alternator and will destroy them. And they're both very expensive components and labor to do so. So keep an eye on those, and something fairly easy to replace for someone DIY. Comfortable to do it yourself. It's not that hard. Removing this for the intake plenum's not that big of a deal. It's not too in depth. You could just do a whole tune-up at the same time. Now here's another one. This was leaking really bad. He actually had the serpentine belt pop off a while ago. We ended up doing the timing belt and all sorts of other things, but kind of hard to see, but there's a couple bolts here. You do have to remove the harmonic balancer, I believe. You might be able to take it off without, but I mean, it's easy for me to just take the harmonic balancer off if you have the proper tools, impact, yada yada. So while I was in there doing the timing belt, cam, crank seals, and everything else, it's these 3 bolts. 1, 2 up here, and then there's one tucked away right in there. Remove the filter. You can actually leave the filter on too. Pop those out. Just go to any of your local stores, get yourself a oil filter housing gasket. It's pretty large. Replace that, put a little bit of fresh oil on it when you apply it. Clean up the mating surface really well. And that was the major leak that he had. There is still some residual here. I cleaned up a lot, but I wasn't going to waste my time cleaning everything else. That's on him to do, the owner of this vehicle. But yeah, that's a very common leak. And the problem with it being at that housing is you have a lot of pressure. So if it starts leaking, it's going to be quick and with the vengeance, and gets all over the serpentine belt. Like I just told you, it popped that off, caused that whole other video with him buying some cheap aftermarket parts, which caused other headaches. So be careful when you buy aftermarket. We ended up putting a fresh Bando serpentine tensioner on here, fresh Bando belt as well. High quality, highly recommend to get. So just a quick video on that. Like I said, the rear valve cover is less of an issue. It's not typically leaking down on anything of too much importance. On this side though, it still technically could possibly get on the timing, but with the cover and everything, it goes behind it for the most part. And as long as your cover's on there, you should be okay. So anyways, just something to look out for. Leaks, you don't want that on the ground. I'm a motorcycle rider, and let's keep the environment nice and healthy, and oil getting sent off to the part stores to be recycled properly, not on the roads, please. So I know it costs a little bit of money to get this work done, but it's worth doing. It's good for the environment, safe for your car, and also can avoid a lot of headaches down the road. Y'all have a great day.